By design, limited access highways reduce the number of intersections, traffic signals, cross-traffic, pedestrians, and poor road conditions we encounter. The frequency of crashes on limited access highways is lower than on other types of roads. In fact, recent government statistics indicate that less than 13% of speed-related fatal crashes occur on expressways. Unfortunately, the overall consequence of crashes on limited access highways is more serious because of the increased speed involved. With average expressway speeds in excess of 65 miles per hour, the decision driver must adapt their decision-making strategy to the special needs of these roadways. Using the decision driving principles you've learned, study the route before you start a trip on an unfamiliar expressway. While hazards are generally reduced by expressway design, operating on these roadways involves specific skills not utilized in any other traffic situation. 3 of the primary areas where new skills will be needed are: entering the expressway. Safely accelerate to match the speed of the vehicles traveling on the highway. Entering vehicles should then merge smoothly into the traffic flow without interrupting the speed of traffic. Operating in expressway traffic requires you to plan for your trip. Know the name, route, or number for both the entrance and the exit you will use. Plan stops for rest, food, and fuel. Use the decision-driving process to be aware of conditions developing in your decision space at all times. Maintain your vehicle in top condition to ensure its reliable operation. Exiting the expressway safely requires advanced planning and skill. Use the decision-driving process to expand your look-ahead capacity. This will enable you to properly position yourself for the exit. Size up the traffic around you and signal your intentions early to motorists around you. Plan your exit route and move into the exiting lane at the earliest safe opportunity. Should you miss the exit, proceed to the next exit. Never back up on a highway. Other important considerations when driving on the highway include poor weather operation and emergency procedures. When entering the expressway, always keep your vehicle in motion. If you stop or slow at the end of the ramp, you'll make entering the highway difficult and risk being struck from behind. Build your speed up in the acceleration lane so that you can merge smoothly into the traffic stream. Use your turn signal indicating the direction you will be entering from to inform other drivers that you intend to merge. As you enter the flow of traffic, keep checking the space between vehicles to make sure you have enough room to safely merge without cutting anyone off. Let's watch this driver demonstrate the proper method for entering an expressway.
Coming around the ramp now, it's kind of blind around the corner, so we want to take it nice and easy. We certainly don't want to come around the corner and find out the traffic is stopped. We want to make sure that the ramp is clear before we start looking for our gap onto the highway. So we're going to take a quick glance out here to check the traffic, check back to make sure our ramp is clear, which it is. We're going to signal our intention to come back out onto the highway, and we can see that we have traffic coming up, a little bit of a gap. Oh, the lane is opened up now, so we're going to go ahead and move on out into the highway. Kind of a tough area here because you've got one ramp coming on and another ramp getting right off right after it. So that worked out well.
While driving in expressway traffic, you should maintain a constant speed. Once you establish your position in the flow of traffic, begin measuring your decision space. Keep in mind that at highway speeds, the distance required to stop is much greater than in other traffic situations. Even though the distance you leave between your vehicle and the one in front of you seems much greater, remember that decision space is measured in time and not distance. Under poor road and weather conditions, this decision space becomes longer, and maintaining adequate decision space is even more critical. If traffic is heavy and impatient drivers are cutting in front of you, leave yourself an escape route. adjust your position to create a clear space in the lanes to the right or left of you. If you intend to pass, check to the rear to make sure the driver behind you isn't about to pass. If the lane to your left is clear, use your directional signal and move into the passing lane. Speed up and overtake the vehicle quickly. Read every sign. At night, use the high beam of your headlights to read overhead signs, providing they do not interfere with the vision of other drivers. Stopping at rest areas every 100 miles, 160 kilometers, will prevent fatigue and drowsiness. Getting out to walk around or taking a refreshment break will help you to be more alert while driving. Expressway entrances, exits, and service areas are usually on the right. Move to the left when approaching these facilities to avoid trouble if other drivers brake unexpectedly or cut across without warning. At night, the glow from overhead lighting may give advance notice that you are approaching this kind of facility, so move to the left well in advance of these areas. Lane positioning and lane changing may be one of the most dangerous maneuvers on a multiple-lane roadway. These changes require advanced planning and a specific sequence of action in order to perform them safely. All vehicles have blind areas on both the right and left rear zones. Check often for traffic that may enter your blind zone and be alert for other drivers who may be about to pass you. When traveling behind a vehicle in an adjacent lane, reduce your speed or accelerate in order to stay out of their blind spot. Keep lane changes to a minimum. Unnecessary weaving may cause a collision. Plan for your lane changes and follow these steps when changing lanes on the expressway. As we discussed in signaling your intentions early, signal every lane change at least 5 to 8 seconds before the maneuver. Check your inside and outside mirrors for traffic, and turn your head to look in the blind spot area of the direction that you intend to move. If the path is clear, move predictably into the next lane. Change only one lane at a time. Cancel your turn signal when you have fully completed the lane change. Here's a short clip of these concepts in action. Note how the driver activates his signals 5 to 8 seconds before attempting his lane change.
We can see now that there's quite a bit of traffic coming onto the highway in front of us, and we can't move out just yet. We are going to put our left-hand turn signal on, and we're going to wait for this middle lane to clear, and then we're going to move out into the middle lane to leave these folks room to come onto the highway. You've always got to be aware when you're coming by an entrance to the highway that people are going to be in a hurry to get out onto the highway and get out around any other vehicles that may be in their way, like that car just did with this truck. We're going to get off the next exit up ahead of us now. It's about a mile up. So we're going to signal our intention to get back into the right lane. Just ease off a little bit. We're going to check our mirrors to make sure that we're clear in that lane. We're going to move slowly over to the right lane and then slow down just a little bit to increase our following distance between us and this truck in front of us.
If you encountered trouble and need to stop, signal and move to the right and into the breakdown lane before reducing your speed. Park the vehicle as far away from the travel lane as possible. Switch on the emergency four-way flashers if you have them. Get out of your vehicle on the right side and properly place any emergency warning devices you may have. Your vehicle should be equipped with approved reflectors for use night or day. If you have a situation that you are unable to fix yourself, raise the hood and tie a handkerchief to the antenna or mirror. At night, maximize your visibility by turning on the low beams and interior lights. Stay out of your vehicle, but don't leave it. Never stand behind or in front of your vehicle. Instead, move to the right and off the road. In bad weather, there's no magic formula for expressway driving. Snow, ice, rain, and fog affect all roads, and the situation is even worse on expressways when drivers fail to slow down. You need a sizable decision space cushion to avoid getting involved in the pileups that occur on high-speed roads during nasty weather. If the weather worsens, stop or exit the highway. Plan your exit from the highway early and keep the exit number prior to your exit in mind. The exit number of most interstate roads will be the same as the milepost number. So that you'll have plenty of time, enter the turnoff lane well in advance of your exit. As you approach your exit, move into the deceleration lane. If you miss the exit, never try to stop or back up. Go on to the next exit. Begin decreasing your speed only when you have your vehicle completely in the deceleration lane. Observe the speed limit posted on the ramp. Because you have been traveling at high speed for a long period, it may seem as if you are traveling very slowly. However, you may be moving faster than you think. Therefore, it's important to match your speed to the posted limit for the exit ramp. Properly adjusting your speed will protect you from running off a tight ramp curve and possibly overturning. Remember that the speed limit posted on exit ramps is for automobiles only, not trucks. Vehicles that are heavily loaded, have a high center of gravity, or that are carrying liquid tend to roll over more easily. Extra caution should be exercised when exiting highways with these types of vehicles. Let's look at a well-executed expressway exit.
We're going to get off the second exit up here, so we're going to wait until we're past the first exit before we signal our intention so that we don't confuse people. We can also see that there's traffic entering the highway ahead of us. This is another one of those combination entrance and exit ramps, which get a little bit crazy. So we're going to check to the right. We can see that the ramp is clear. We're going to slow down just a little bit here because we know that this is a short ramp. We can see already that the exit speed is 25 miles an hour. We know that speed is for passenger vehicles. We're in a commercial vehicle, so we're going to assume that this is going to tighten up on us pretty quickly. So we're going to start slowing down and be below that speed limit when we come around the ramp. Also, it's a blind ramp. You can't see around the corner, so you don't know if traffic is stopped. So we're just going to take it nice and easy. Nobody behind us. We want to make sure that the ramp is clear before we start looking for a gap to enter into this traffic. So we can see that the ramp is clear. We're going to start looking over our shoulder and looking to the left. We're going to signal our intention. We can see that we have a gap in traffic here, so we're going to accelerate up to speed and we're going to move slowly out into the first lane. Then we're going to look for a gap into the next lane.
In this decision driving tactic, we've discussed the basics of expressway driving, entering expressways, driving in expressway traffic, lane changing, and exiting expressways. Let's listen to this driver putting these principles into practice.
So we're going to keep a nice steady speed on the ramp. We're not going to start checking for our gap until we get around this last corner. We want to make sure that the ramp is clear. We're going to start checking in our mirror now, looking over our shoulder, and we've got plenty of room now. The right lane is completely open. We're going to turn our left turn signal on to signal our intention to get onto the highway, and we're going to accelerate up to highway speed. Traffic is pretty light at the moment. We've got lots of room in front of us, lots of room behind us, nobody around us.
We've got some vehicles entering from the right-hand side, so we're just going to watch our speed and back off. We need to use the other lane because of the vehicle pulling in on our right. We had an escape route to our left. We were able to utilize that. We've got good decision space to the front. We've got space to the rear. We've got a few vehicles approaching us and passing on the left, but we can see them quite a ways off. So we've got a good space cushion all the way around the truck, and we're operating right at the speed limit.
Try to maintain our speed here till we get off onto the right lane. We can see that the exit sign says 25 miles an hour. Exit signs are posted for passenger vehicles. We're in a commercial vehicle, so we want to be well below that posted speed in a commercial vehicle, higher center of gravity, maybe loaded. So we want to take it nice and easy. We certainly don't want to roll over on an exit ramp.
Congratulations! You have completed the expressway driving portion of decision driving tactics. When driven correctly, expressways can help us avoid conflict while covering great distances quickly and efficiently.